Alright guys, so today I'm going to be doing our antique booth sales for the month of June. So I feel like, and we were told that, June and July are, slower months. So I was expecting a fairly slow month in the booth. I still feel like overall it wasn't too bad. We did sell a decent amount of things, and some of those, I just got a cha-ching, some of those were some pricier items as well, so that always seems to help. So let's just get started into what we sold for the month of June. Now when I do these, you guys know, first and foremost, the price I give you is the price I put on the ticket. That doesn't include, the 10% off sales that we do constantly on everything, and that type of thing. It's just the price that I'm putting on the items, just to kind of give you an idea of what I'm pricing, our stuff at. And then also, I feel like I did pretty well with having clear, nice pictures of everything that I'm showing you. There might be a couple still where the pictures aren't as fantastic, but each time I do one of these, they should be better and better. So let's just get started. The first thing was a glass bluebirds of happiness. So this was like a 2 birds on like a blue heart that sold for $24. I feel like anytime we put in, one of those bluebirds of happiness, they sell. So I would always consistently pick those up. Next thing, we sold 2 glass figural dolphins at $11 a piece. These were both different color blue. That's another thing that I will constantly pick up, are just glass figural pieces. I feel like, stuff like that just flies out, especially if they're priced decently. At, like, I wasn't sure about dolphins, but the dolphins sold. We've sold fish. I mean, just literally any kind of animal that's glass. Next item was a glass perfume bottle. That one sold for $10. I do apologize, that one wasn't the best picture. I sold a blue crackle glass pitcher. This was on the smaller side. That sold for $14. Then we have that really large stone, like glass stone bonsai tree. This thing was huge, very heavy. It's crazy to think, but I actually have 2 more of these. They're not as big as the one that sold, but I do have 2 more. We were going to put another one in the booth after this one sold, but it got close to Father's Day and we wanted to switch out. I had the tree that this was on the table, I kind of had it as a little bit of like an Asian type of theme going on, because I wanted to just work around that large glass tree. And then Father's Day came and we switched it out to more Father's Day manly type camping stuff and that kind of thing. So none of the other trees went in yet, but I did hear that the lady that bought that was tickled pink because she collects them and she didn't have that color or something. So that made me happy. That sold for $85. Let's see, I sold a pair. This was for the set of 2. These were by Homeco. They were just the cutest lions. Just absolutely adorable. They were made of that kind of like plasticky type material. Those sold as the pair for $19. This next item we had in since Christmas and we just never took it down. It was just this little wooden hanging. So this was just a little wooden wall hanging of, it looked kind of like a pixie or elf. Had it in at Christmas time and just kind of left it up on the wall because it was really small and, not taking up a whole lot of space. And it did end up selling for $6. We also sold a gray mouse bank. This was so stinking cute. That sold for $10, little mouse piggy bank. We sold 2 different glass fish. I don't know. I think we're all out of fish at this point. I don't think we have any more glass fish. But the first one was like a blue striped glass fish that sold for $9. And then we had one that was a little more, what I thought was nicer, of like a blue and yellow swirl. So we put $12 on that one, and that one sold for $12. This next item was a uranium glass shaker. So for, you know, sugar, salt, pepper, I don't know. It was fairly decent, so I would assume like a sugar shaker. That glowed, obviously, and that sold for $24. Next item was that large uranium bridge lamp that Eric and I picked up at a yard sale. That was in that video where I kind of overrode him. He wasn't so sure about picking it up because there was like an issue on the back. There was a piece that was chipped off, and I was like, I don't know, I feel like we should definitely be buying this thing even with the issue. So we did still buy it. I think we paid $35, I want to say, for the lamp. And, you know, we put it in the booth, and I wrote on the tag about the issue, you know what I mean? So the person would know that there was a problem with it. Still displayed, absolutely amazing. Still glowed, obviously. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous lamp that sold for $325, and that sold pretty quickly, I would say, for, you know, being in a booth. So that was exciting, and just gotta pat myself on the back for that one. Alright, so the next item was a glass paperweight. This was just like a little yellow glass paperweight. Not anything too special, nothing like signed by an artist or anything like that. That sold for $13. We also sold another little figural glass animal. This one was a blue kind of satin glass turtle. Again, I don't think this picture was the best either, but that sold for $10. We sold an amber glass fairy lamp for $40. It was, you know, an amber hobnail type of fairy lamp. Next item was another paperweight. This one was a little bit nicer. Again, not signed or anything like that, but just a little larger than the other one, and it had a really pretty yellow flower inside. That one sold for $19. We sold a garden flag. This had a frog on it, and it said "Stay Weird." That sold for $9. Then we sold that cast iron octopus. I absolutely love this thing. I thought he was so neat. He sold for $15. And then these next two items were both Coleman camping lanterns. So these went on that table when we switched to more of like the Father's Day stuff. Kind of went with like a little bit of a camping theme kind of thing. So one of those lanterns was priced at $40 and the other one at $35. Just because of the model. One model was just a little bit better than the other one. And those, whoever purchased them, bought both of them. So they went, I would say, I mean, it took a little while for them to sell out of the booth, but I think for the most part they went pretty quickly. So, you know, anytime we kind of come across those, probably Eric might be picking them up if we can find them, you know, at a good price. This next item was kind of just so random. It came in a box lot of stuff we won at an auction. It was an ashtray for the local Shriners Club. So, you know, we just put that on kind of like the Father's Day table. I didn't really think it was going to go. I just kind of put it there in hopes that it would, you know what I mean? Just to kind of go with our little theme. And it sold. And it sold, like, I think very quickly. So that was kind of, Eric said an hour, which is crazy because I didn't think anyone would buy it. It sold for $8 though. So I was so excited about that because a lot of the times when we get stuff in auction box lots, you know, some of it I'm just like, I don't know if anyone's gonna like buy this. I kind of like toss around as to like what I want to do with it. Like, do I even want to bother trying to sell it? Do I want to just, you know, send it back to like the auction and try to get a little bit of money back and that type of thing? So, you know, that one was a little bit surprising to me. We sold a Beaumont Brothers crock for $24. So I do have another one in there. At first I was trying to figure out, oh my gosh, which Beaumont Brothers crock was it that sold? It was the larger one. I also have a bit of a smaller one still in the booth. We sold a butterfly terrarium for $19. This one was a pretty large round one. I swear, every butterfly terrarium we find and put in the booth, it sells. So that's definitely another thing that, like, if we come across them at a decent price, we're going to just keep picking them up because they definitely are a fairly popular item in our booth. As well as glass, obviously. This next item is a Viking glass green cabbage leaf vase that sold for $69. And then I also sold my other Neil the Frog canister. I had two. So the larger one had sold at one point, and then this one was the next largest one, and that one sold for $30. And the last thing that I sold for the month of June was a book. I was so excited about selling a book. You guys know I have been putting in books in our booth. I have this little tiny pile. I'm keeping it at like 3 books. Like, I'm not like making some crazy amount of like a bookshelf in the booth or anything. It's just 3 books that I'm keeping in there, of books that I've read and hoping, you know, that they sell. And someone did buy it. I don't have a picture, but I'm just going to post up a picture of the book. It was Verity by Colleen Hoover. I priced my books at $5, plus I do 10% off, like, everything. So I put in another Colleen Hoover book just the other day. Since that one sold, it's like, okay, maybe there's some Colleen Hoover fans out there. So I put in Ugly Love, I think it was called. I just finished it. I wasn't a big fan of that one. Verity, though, I gave that a 4 out of 5 stars. I thought that one was decent. But that Ugly Love one by her that I just finished, I wasn't a fan. It was spicy, though. So, I mean, you know, there was some spice going on. But that's pretty much, I think, everything for my booth sales for June. Like I said, I don't think it was that bad of a month considering it was slow. You know, I'm curious to see how July will go. What are we in? Today is July 3rd. I think so far for this month we've only sold two things. So, you know, I'm curious to see how this month will go. We will probably start, Eric, when did you say we're going to start doing Halloween?
I think in August 1st.
August 1st? Yeah, we were told that August is when people start, you know, bringing in the Halloween and people are starting to, you know, look and buy Halloween. We heard like some stuff's already like trickling in and out right now. I think it's a little bit early. But
stores are starting to put it in already.
Exactly. So, I mean, just because I'm not quite ready for it, it doesn't mean, you know, other people aren't. I mean, I'm ready for it, but I'm not, you know, so ready to have Halloween be like, you know, the whole booth or something at this point. So we'll probably start August 1st, trickling it in, and we'll probably do
trickling.
Yeah, I said, as soon as I said that, I was like, not trickling.
Probably jam it all in at one time.
Yeah, we will probably be doing like a complete like reset of stuff and be taking out a bunch of stuff and bringing in the Halloween, the fall and Halloween, not necessarily just Halloween specific, but fall stuff, and just try to think of some other more appropriate themes for fall and Halloween. I kind of have an idea of like doing maybe like a shelf of owls, because I have like a ton of owl stuff, and you know, things like that. So we'll see. I'm excited for it because this will be our first Halloween having a booth, our first October, I should say. So, you know, I'm just excited for that. And then, you know, it'll be on to Christmas probably right after that. So it's just kind of crazy how fast I feel like this year is going pretty fast already. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you thought down in the comments, and I will see you next time.